Back here in the U.S., President Barack Obama has named influential persons to pursue peace in volatile regions such as Pakistan and Afghanistan. While Mr. Obama's office has issued statements on developments in Africa, many are uncertain about his policy on the continent. Much has happened in Africa since President Obama took office last month.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Somalia has a new president and promise of stability after months of turmoil. In Zimbabwe, a power-sharing government has finally taken hold.
So help me God.
But conflicts and uncertainty persist in Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and other parts of Africa. And many want Mr. Obama to go beyond former President George Bush's emphasis on promoting democracy and humanitarian aid in Africa. Stephen Hayes is president of the Corporate Council on Africa.
The Bush administration, as much as I think they deserve praise, really, I think, looked at Africa more in a missionary point of view. How do we help on the medical issues? How do we help the poor and so forth?
As a major investor in Africa, Hayes' organization wants more emphasis placed on partnership and investment opportunities.
How do you get real investment in that brings real jobs, greater security, reduces the need for peacemaking, but in fact brings about more peace, and that's going to be through economic development and greater jobs. And I think that's the attention we have to give.
Kenya's ambassador to the U.S., Peter Ogego, also praises Mr. Bush's commitment to Africa, particularly in fighting disease and promoting education. But he too stresses a need to modify the relationship.
We expect, if anything else, that Africa will be given prime attention that it deserves, and that the efforts that Africans are making on the continent, particularly with regards to democracy, to fighting corruption, to opening up their societies, empowering women and the youth, that all this will be recognized and encouraged as we have seen in the past.
Some analysts doubt much will change with Africa under President Obama, especially as the U.S. financial crisis threatens domestic priorities. Pamela Glass is a Washington-based reporter for the Mauritian paper Le Mauricien.
For the most part, I think that there is very bipartisan attitude in Washington and the Congress towards relations with Africa. I don't think you see too much of a difference with a Republican or Democratic administration. I don't really think that just because Obama has family ties to Kenya, that therefore we're going to see a major shift of interest to Africa as a result of that.
Mr. Obama's focus on Africa is unclear, and analysts warn against high expectations. But his ambassador to the UN is Susan Rice, a former Deputy Secretary of State, and his Secretary of State is former First Lady and Senator Hillary Clinton. Both are vocal about Africa, and some believe Africa will be high on their agendas. Dimiake Mwakaliele, VOA News.